6:45. This is a Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Geo Garaj and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. Ex-IGP Pujit Jasundara acquitted in the Easter Sunday attack case. Sri Lanka identifies 1,282 new COVID-19 cases. Sri Lanka confirms 23 new deaths from COVID-19. The Speaker endorses 5 bills. Minister Dallas Alaperma says only 25% of preschool teachers are trained teachers in the country. Health authorities point out that most of the COVID patients admitted are those who have not taken the booster dose, that's a third shot. In news overseas, Indian brothers heal birds dropping from the sky. And in sports news, Ferran Torres scored a penalty as Barcelona rescued a draw in the Europa League last 32 first leg tie against Napoli. Those were the headlines, and now more to the details of the local news. Former Inspector General of Police IGP Pujit Jasundara too has been acquitted in the case filed against him over criminal negligence of duty by failing to prevent the 2019 Easter Sunday terror attacks despite receiving intelligence information beforehand. The verdict was delivered by Colombo High Court trial at Bar Namal Balalle, Aditya Patbandige and Mohammad Ishardeen today. Following a lengthy trial, the judge bench ordered to acquit and release the accused without calling for evidence from the defense. The former IGP Jasundara and former Defense Secretary Hemasiri Fernando were arrested for allegedly failing to prevent the coordinated terror attacks orchestrated by now-banned terror group National Tawhid Jamaat, which claimed the lives of over 250 persons and injured approximately 500 more people on Easter Sunday in the year 2019. The total of 855 charges of criminal negligence had been laid against the two individually. The Health Ministry says that another 1,282 persons have tested positive for COVID-19 today as the daily count of new cases continues to rise in the country. This brings the total tally of COVID-19 cases registered in the country thus far to 634,333. According to the official figures, 596,639 positive cases have recovered. Following the new development, the number of virus-infected people who are undergoing treatment moved to 21,745. The Director General of Health Services has confirmed 23 new coronavirus-related fatalities for February 17th, moving the death toll in the country from the virus to 15,949. This includes 17 males and 6 females, according to the Department of Information. 8 of the deceased were in the age group of 30 to 59 years. The remaining 15 victims were aged 60 years and above. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And we continue with more local news. Minister Dallas Alaperma says only 25% of the preschool teachers are trained teachers. However, survey information reveals that around 53% of the teachers in the Northern Province have been trained. Everyone should join together to make the education process a success. The minister made these remarks when he made a visit to Delft Island, Jaffna, today. The minister visited the Saiva Sprigasa Vidyalaya and presented some computers to the students. There are 68 students studying in the school and 16 teachers are serving in this school. The Speaker of the Parliament, Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardene, endorsed 5 bills yesterday which were taken up for debate in the House recently. Accordingly, the Speaker has endorsed the Certificate on the Code of Criminal Procedures Amendment, Prohibition of Anti-Personnel Mines, Judicature Amendment, Civil Procedure Code Amendment, Provincial Council's Transfer of Stamp Duty Amendment bills, which were taken into debate and passed on the 9th and the 10th of February. The said acts will thus be in effect from the 17th of February as the Code of Criminal Procedures Amendment Act No. 2 of 2022, Prohibition of Anti-Personnel Mines Act No. 3 of 2022, Judicature Amendment Act No. 4 of 2022, Civil Procedures Code Amendment Act No. 5 of 2022 and Provincial Council's Transfer of Stamp Duty Amendment Act No. 6 of 2022. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. Ex-IGP Pooji Jayasundara acquitted in the Easter Sunday attack case. Sri Lanka identifies 1,282 new COVID-19 cases. Sri Lanka confirms 23 new deaths from COVID-19. The Speaker endorses 5 bills. Minister Dallas Alaparama says only 25% of the preschool teachers are trained teachers in the country. The health authorities point out that most of the COVID patients admitted are those who have not taken the 3rd dose, that's the booster shot. And that was the local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The main news story for tonight, the health authorities point out that most of the COVID patients admitted are those who have not taken the 3rd dose, the booster shot. Specialist Dr. Ganaja Samarajiva said that many people taken the 3rd dose, then there will be a drop in the COVID patients getting admitted to the hospitals. However, the Omicron impact is said to be low when compared with the Delta effect. Dr. Samarjiva also requested the general public to get their booster shot as soon as possible to avoid unnecessary difficulties. It should be noted that the booster shot or the 3rd dose is given free by the government to the general public. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
This is Watchlight.
And in Watchlight tonight, COVID coordinator of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Anwar Hamdani, said that there is an increase of 15% of COVID patients when compared with the last week. He said 10% of the patients are depending on oxygen. He further said it is very important to follow the health guidelines. Dr. Hamdani pointed out that the pandemic can be controlled by taking the booster dose. Meanwhile, the epidemiology unit said that more than 6.2 million have been given the booster dose. He requests the general public to get the 3rd dose of the booster as soon as possible to avoid undergoing unnecessary health problems. And that came to you in Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
Headlines of the World News. Indian brothers heal, birds dropping from the sky. Climate change, COVID shutdown linked to record rainfall in China. Malawi finds Africa's first wild polio case in 5 years. Those are the headlines, and now more to the details of the world news. For 20 years, 2 brothers living in the squalid of neighborhood of Wadzabad in India's capital Delhi have been treating wounded black kites that fall from the city's laden skies. Muhammad Shad and Nadeem Sherad rescue birds of prey mostly injured by paper kite strings coated with crushed glass and carry them in a cardboard box to a claustrophobic basement garage at their home. Here, they begin nursing them to health, cleaning and bandaging wounds, fixing slashed wings and broken bones. Scientists say that a rapid drop in emission because of COVID played a key role in record rainfall in China in the year 2020. The decline in greenhouse gases and small particles called aerosols caused atmospheric changes that intensified the downpours. Hundreds of people died and millions more were evacuated during a summer of record rainfall. But the long-term cuts in emission are unlikely to trigger similar events. Malawi has declared a wild polio outbreak after a case was identified in a 3-year-old girl, the first of its kind in Africa for more than 5 years. The continent was declared free from all form of wild polio in the year 2020. The Malawian authorities are now working to contain any possible spread, including by boosting immunization. Wild polio remains endemic in only 2 countries in the world, that's Afghanistan and Pakistan. And to conclude the world news, the headlines once again. Indian brothers heal, birds dropping from the sky. Climate changes, COVID shutdown linked to record rainfall in China. Malawi finds Africa's first wild polio case in 5 years. And that was the world news.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
And in development news, the Consumer Affairs Authority says a special committee has been appointed to look into the fruit cultivation using chemical fertilizers. It was reported that certain fruit varieties have become poisonous due to the use of chemicals. The report of this committee will be submitted to the Food Advisory Committee. And that came to you in the segment of Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928. Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Moving on with sports news in soccer, Ferran Torres scored a penalty as Barcelona rescued a draw in the Europa League last 32 first leg tie against Napoli. Making their first appearance in this competition in almost 18 years, the Spanish giants fell behind the first half when Petr Zelensky drove in. But Barcelona were awarded a penalty in the second half by VAR after Adam Torres cross-hit one Jesus' hand. Torres stepped up to send goalkeeper Alex Murray the wrong way. That was the sports news. Business news coming up.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
In business news, Sri Lanka Telecom PLC Group concluded the financial year 2021 on a high note, recording a turnover of 102.3 billion rupees for the year ending 31st December 2021, making a top-line growth of 12.3% year-on-year. The group's sustained growth resulted in a profit after tax of 12.2 billion rupees, a growth of 54.3% when compared to the previous year. That was the business news. Economic news follows.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
And in economic news, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka introduced various measures to encourage investment in Sri Lanka development bonds. Validating the effectiveness of the measures introduced, funds amounting to $111.5 million have been raised through direct issuance of SLDBs from January 1st to February 15th, 2022. That was economic news and the weather report to conclude.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The weather report.
Finally, the weather report. The Met Department says several spells of showers will occur in the north central, eastern and Uva provinces and in the Hambantota and Matale districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the western and Sabaragama provinces and in the Kandy, Nuwara Eliya, Galle and Mathura districts during the evening or night. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in the Ratnapura, Nuwara Eliya, Kaluthara, Galle and Mathura districts. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the western, Sabaragamuwa and central provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts during the morning hours. This weather report was published this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the International Weather Forecast website AccuWeather.com reports that the day's weather was bright with occasional showers. Today's daytime temperature was observed to be around 32 degrees Celsius. There will be light showers in many places in the Colombo district in the night. Tonight's temperature will be around 25 degrees Celsius and there will be scattered showers in selected spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be around 25 degrees Celsius at the time of this news broadcast. The air quality index is 23 and it shows fair condition in Colombo. The air quality is generally acceptable for most individuals. However, sensitive groups may experience minor to moderate symptoms from long-term exposure. And before we conclude this bulletin of news, let's get back to the headlines once again. Ex-IGP Pujija Sundara acquitted in the Easter Sunday attack case. Sri Lanka identifies 1,282 new COVID-19 cases. Sri Lanka confirms 23 new deaths from COVID-19. The Speaker endorses 5 bills. Minister Dallas Alaupirma says that only 25% of the preschool teachers are trained teachers in the country. The health authorities point out that most of the COVID patients admitted are those who have not taken the third dose, that's a booster shot. In news overseas, Indian brothers heal birds dropping from the sky. And in sports news, Ferran Torres scored a penalty as Barcelona rescued a draw in the Europa League last 32 first leg tie against Napoli. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news.